I was never a Boy Scout. I was a Cub Scout. And becoming a Cub Scout was the coolest thing I had ever done up to that point in my life. You joined Cub Scouts as close as you could to your 7th birthday. But for some reason, like, they couldn't get me into the pack until a few months later. And they signed me up, and they took me to Peebles Department Store in Romsco Plaza, for those who remember that. And they bought me the uniform, and it was the blue shirt and the yellow neckerchief and the slide. But I couldn't put on the neckerchief or the slide. You got that put on at your first pack meeting. And he bought all the patches with the shoulder patch, and the name of your troop, the name of your den. It was a Den 1. And your mom would sew those on for you. But like, we bought them like the day of the first pack meeting. So I didn't have a chance to sew them on. And they had told my dad and my mom, they said, well, our den is supposed to do a presentation at the pack meeting in 3 days. And what we're doing is every member of the den is going to do a little presentation. They're going to give a short speech about an important national holiday. So one of the boys is doing a speech about Independence Day, and one's doing one about Veterans Day. It's only 3 days away, and the other boys have spent a month preparing for this. So we're not going to put pressure on Marty to make a speech. And my mother said, I got to tell you, I think you should give him a shot. And the only holiday that was left was Flag Day. So I got to decide Flag Day. So standing with all my friends in my blue shirt, that was just a blue shirt, because none of the patches had been sewn on together. So I'm just a kid in a blue shirt. I walked to the front of the room, and no one had told me we could read the speeches. So I stand up with no notes in my hand, and I'll never forget this to this day. Stood up with no notes in my hand, and I said, Flag Day. Flag Day is celebrated on June 14th. It marks the day in 1776 when Congress adopted the Stars and Stripes to be our national banner. Flag Day. And I got a standing ovation. And that was the greatest moment of my life. And I absolutely look back at that. That was the day that I knew I was going to go into politics. I couldn't have said I'm going to run for office someday. I was 7. But it was the day, and it was literally the very first scouting event I'd ever attended. And it was the moment I realized that there are people in our community whose job it is to speak to groups of people, to provide leadership, to provide information. But it was scouting that first introduced me to the talents and the skills and the values that I think we all want to typify in leaders of all types. I happen to be in an elected office, but everybody in this room is a leader in this community in some way. And I have a real blessing that I get to interact with people who provide leadership of some type in this community every single day. Not all of those people have been Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, but the people that we identify as leaders are the people who live by the laws and the creed and the value of scouting every single day. What I think makes this an honor for me is not so much that they've been kind enough to give me a neckerchief and a nice piece of hardware here, but rather the fact that what scouting is doing is honoring everyone in the community who lives by the values of scouting. Because when I read these 12 characteristics, these are the characteristics that we not only want in our leaders, these are the characteristics we want for our community. We want our community to be trustworthy. We want our community to be loyal and helpful and friendly and courteous and kind and obedient and cheerful and thrifty and brave and clean and reverent. And if I've had an opportunity to provide a type of leadership that makes Prince William County all of these things, then that's something that I'm honored to have an opportunity to do. It's something I'm very proud of. And to use the phrase that I get an opportunity to use a lot these days, I hope that these values are something that make everyone in our community, Prince William, proud. So thank you for this honor, but more importantly, thank all of you for being the leaders that you are, that make events like tonight and make programs like the one that Tristan gets to take advantage of, an opportunity in our community, so that we can raise up the next generation of leaders who will live these values and help our communities live these values as well. Thank you all very much.